we are still in the early parts of 2024. Now that is exciting because it's still relatively the beginning of the crypto bull run, and also we are still around 6, 7, 8 months until the USA elections, okay? So this is why this video is gonna be about basically the new category that was created in the world of crypto, and that is the politics category, okay? In one of my recent videos, I discussed WIF and BONK, both of them being in the same Solana Memecoins category, okay? And we identified, okay, the video was released approximately here, that both are gonna have a very nice move, both BONK and WIF, but WIF is gonna outperform massively, and indeed WIF did more than a 10x since we've made the video, and BONK did a 3 to 4x, which is very nice, but still not as great. So in this video, I think we're gonna discuss even bigger opportunities, okay? Trump and the hunt for the next big politics meme coin, okay, on Ethereum or Solana. And I'm gonna explain today my exact reasoning, okay, why I think I found the ultimate kind of 100x opportunity from the moment I'm recording the video. And again, possibly it could be even 1000x, okay? Like our beloved WIF recently reached like a valuation in the billions of dollars, like a 3 billion market cap, okay? I think MAGA Trump can easily also get to something that's gonna be around the 10x from now. I think MAGA is very capable of reaching what WIF has already reached, but we are of course interested in the life-changing opportunity, right? And we are interested in what can do 100x and maybe even 1000x, okay? So let's start the video. Starting the video, we're gonna focus first of all on Trump MAGA coin, okay? Why? Because this is the king of this category, and very likely, in my opinion, it's gonna remain the king, okay? Normally, when you have a king of a particular category, it's gonna remain the king of that category, like Ethereum for the smart contracts, okay? Normally, the king remains the king, okay? And then you have other coins that are competing for who's gonna become the prince, okay? And once you identify someone who becomes a prince, okay, like WIF to BONK, okay, this second coin normally outperforms like crazy, okay? But that being said, in my opinion, actually MAGA Trump coin actually also could be forming a very nice opportunity. So we're gonna start with Trump, okay, with MAGA, because it's very important to understand what the king is doing in order for us to be successful with the prince, okay? Because normally the prince and the, you know, number 3, 4, 5 coin in the category, they normally just follow the king, okay? And by the way, the king of the category, also very importantly, is always following the main king of all crypto, and that is Bitcoin, okay? So depending on what Bitcoin does, Trump will do accordingly, okay? And depending on what Trump does, our other kind of princes, okay, are gonna do accordingly, okay? So when it comes to the king of all crypto, okay, Bitcoin is still super bullish. Now it may actually be starting somewhat of a correction here, okay, but at least as long as like we stay above 60k or even 59k from that kind of recent low here, I think like altcoins can easily keep raging and roaring like crazy, okay? As long as Bitcoin above 59k, okay? So this is thing number one, at least for the next few months, okay? Let's say as long as Bitcoin is above 59k, I think altcoins can remain being very strong and still going higher, okay? Okay, so now Trump MAGA, okay? The interesting thing with this coin is that like at least from like 2024 really, it didn't have very significant corrections so far, okay? So for example, this correction over here was like a 45% correction. It's relatively very little for a meme coin, okay? Like if you've seen other meme coins, they normally, like, you know, BONK, before it made like a 200x, it corrected like 90 something percent, okay? So in the earlier days of Trump MAGA, you know, it corrected a little more. So that was a 70% correction, and the first one was probably higher. This was like a 90% correction, okay? So these corrections are very good for meme coins, because once they shift, okay, you create like insane multiples, okay? So this was a 30-40x for Trump, and then also after that last kind of 50 something 60% correction, you basically had already another like 50x, okay? So at the moment, Trump is very interesting to me, okay? Because for example, first of all, it broke this trend line over here, okay? And I have here a few important moving averages that the last time Trump MAGA held it as support, it just rocketed, okay? It just rocketed, like we said, did another like 50x from these lows over here around 18 cents, okay? So at the moment, as I'm recording the video, the region for these moving averages is around the $2 mark, okay? 2.5, okay? And another interesting trend line that you can see, okay, I have another trend line that started like way back from when Trump was 1 cent, okay? So from that major low in October 2023 to the next significant low, okay, after the significant corrections, okay, that Trump MAGA had. So this one was 90%, like we said, and this one 60. So we have this trend line connecting these two bottoms, okay, that MAGA had, and at the moment, at least, you know, in the let's just say if MAGA Trump is gonna correct like until the end of March or something like that, or maybe early April, if it's gonna correct you know, by another 50% from the current prices as I'm recording the video, okay, then, you know, it can have very, very strong support here with this trend line that we have, and also the moving averages. And you know, if MAGA Trump is gonna reach these levels, I'm gonna be very, very bullish, and personally I'm gonna be buying probably a nice amount of MAGA, because in my opinion it's gonna present the next major opportunity in the king, okay, of the category. Now, in my opinion, even if I'm lucky to get MAGA Trump around the $3 range, like, you know, I will not be expecting for 100x. I mean, you know, if somehow we get it, like, you know, thank you God, it's gonna be incredible. But you know, we have to be realistic. Like, you know, it's a coin that is already having a market cap of like, you know, in the 9 figures, okay? So even if it's gonna half in price, it's still gonna be 100 and something million. So I guess 30x is gonna be possible. It's gonna reach WIF's current valuation. But again, you know, like I don't like to be too degen, okay? So if it's gonna reach $3, I think it's gonna have a decent possibility of something between a 10 to 20 to 30x, you know, again, within a few months, once again, just like it did, for example, over here from January to early March, like in 2 months. So let's say if Trump is doing that, I think it will have a nice opportunity of doing 10 to 30x. But again, remember something very important. All of that still depends strongly on if Bitcoin is bullish or not. So basically the two major moves by Trump and really all altcoins, right? Like they happened really in November and December, right? And then in January, February, March, okay? And what was happening during that time? Of course, Bitcoin was very bullish as well, okay? So here, Bitcoin did 2x or almost 2x, okay? And also here from January, Bitcoin did another like almost 2x, okay? So, and basically these last moves were the most significant moves in all of the current bull run of crypto, okay? So just remember, like when I say, personally, I'm waiting for hopefully having Trump and MAGA correct to this $3 region, you know, back to these support levels. It is gonna be possible. It's gonna do a 10 to 30x again within a few months, okay? But that depends on Bitcoin. Like, is Bitcoin still bullish? Because if Bitcoin goes bearish and then maybe becomes bullish, like in a, you know, let's say in half a year or something like that, then that extra mega move by Trump MAGA can happen like maybe 6 months from now, okay? All right, so that is the king, okay? And and like we said, the king of the category, Trump, he depends on the king of crypto, which is Bitcoin, okay? So as long as Bitcoin is bullish and then we have Trump MAGA that is bullish, then we can have the rest of the new category here being also bullish, okay? So in the next phase of the video, I want to basically explain to you, okay, why there's a particular coin that personally I liked the most from, you know, the recent kind of politics coins that I've found here and created a little bit of a watch list for myself. So yeah, let's go over it, okay? So first of all, we have two really interesting coins like Joe Biden and Donald Trump, like, you know, some stupid variation, right, of the original correct name of both presidents. And look, these are up like, you know, massively. These are up like, you know, 6x in a really short amount of time. Like, let me actually show you on Dex screener. It looks even crazier. So I mean, these coins, I'm also interested, you know, because I'm always, you know, respect the pump, right? Like I always respect a significant pump that is being done, okay? So something that pumped so massively, like 1000x in no time, even though probably, you know, only insiders were buying here, but basically most of the world, like at least I knew about this coin somewhere here, and I guess that's how most of the crypto people kind of became aware of this coin over here. So from here it still did another 5x when most of crypto was kind of sideways, okay, in the last week or so. So generally I'm very impressed and interested in this coin. But you know, at the moment it's 100 million market cap, okay? Joe Biden and Donald Trump is around half of that, like 50 million market cap, something like that, okay? So they are interesting, I'm watching them, but this video is still not gonna be about these two, not about Joe Biden, not about Donald Trump, because again, first of all, I'm never interested in something that is pumping exactly now, because I have no idea if this is the top or maybe it's gonna be later, okay? I'm always interested in things that are reversing, okay, that are starting a reversal. But more importantly, I would also say not like here, because this coin exists only from March 3rd. Like, you know, in my most favorite situations, I like to see like multi-week reversals, okay? So Trump was able to like pump significantly here after it was in a downtrend for a month and a half. Also here, right, like from this top from like November 20 until January 8, that was also around a month and a half, okay? So very possibly Trump has already started that. Like we still cannot see that in the Heikin Ashi weekly candles that I have here, but you know, if we convert back to daily, we can see that already Trump MAGA corrected like 45% from $11 to 6 point something. So you know, if we're gonna have a correction for another month or so to $3, then I think, you know, Trump and the rest of the category is gonna be super interesting. But these two, you know, maybe they're starting their correction only today. So these two, I'm not interested in them right now. If they'll correct enough and gonna be, you know, gonna kind of reduce a little bit of all of that market cap, I'm gonna become a lot more interested. Next interesting one is also Trump Inu. I think this is not a bad option at all. Again, in the very short term, again, I'm not very interested because it just pumped like 5 to 6x. Let's look for it also here on DEX screener so that we have the full history. So yeah, this one was not bad, right? So we had a very nice entry over here, and it's approximately like 3x still from this entry. So I would say, even though this video is not gonna focus on Trump Inu, I'm just gonna put it out there. For me personally, I would say that this coin is the second most interesting after the main coin I'm gonna talk about, okay? But this coin is also very interesting, but again, at the moment, like, because the king is in a correction, and this one just recently already had this massive pump, you know, we need to wait for a new opportunity, okay? And also this coin still exists only from like March 4th, so, you know, I'd like this to exist around a month, you know, to see also there's no, the developers are not rugging, you know, like we want to give it enough time so that it, like, you know, it is in a downtrend, it wasn't rugged, and, you know, and there's a new reversal, and the king is very strong, and Bitcoin is very strong, and then this thing can easily do, like, much more than a 10x in a short amount of time. Now, I don't want to make this video too long, but generally these two coins, I think they're also not a very bad option, okay, Tucker Carlson and Milei, but at the moment I'm not that interested just because of their TA, but generally I think they also could be a very nice opportunity with Trump Inu, and with the coin that we are going to talk about, that in my personal opinion, as I'm recording the video, okay, in this exact moment, in my opinion, the most interesting politics coin is Joe Biden, okay, the Biden coin on the Ethereum blockchain, okay, so Joe Biden and these two, they are from the Solana blockchain, and Joe Biden is from the Ethereum blockchain, similarly to the king. The king is also on the Ethereum blockchain. Now, what is the main reason I'm so interested in Biden? Okay, first of all, it didn't pump very significantly, and in fact, it actually already started a downtrend that is somewhat longer, okay, since March 4th, okay, so the peak for Biden was in March 4th, and it's already in a downtrend for more than a week, right? So on the daily, possibly there is some reversal over here, and very recently I think it had a kind of a decent trading opportunity here, but you know, in the let's just say in the foreseeable future of like the next few days or weeks, I'll be very surprised if this thing will pump very hard, just because again the king is in a correction, okay? But it is possible. So I mean, even if it will pump like, you know, back to the all-time highs or something like that, I just don't expect it to like, you know, do the really big move, okay? Like the really significant like 100x move that I think it has a potential to do. It's gonna probably do it together with the king, just like always, okay? So now, why for me personally, this coin is right now, in my opinion, the best opportunity, okay? At least from all of the coins that I have over here. The main few reasons are, okay, that the fact that this right now is only a 6 million market cap. Now, it's not ridiculously small, okay? It's not like over here, like in the 100K. Like, of course, arguably it was also an opportunity, but you know, like when it's at these super low valuations, you can, like, you know, even if you buy it like for $400, you move the price quite a bit, okay? So it's just difficult like to really buy here in a significant way. Or and if you do, you become like a major whale that it's very difficult for you to sell later. So anyway, for my personal taste, okay, that's reason number one. Reason number two, that, you know, something like in these valuations of like 100, 200K is just easily can still be a rug, and then maybe once it reaches like 1, 2, 5, $10 million of valuation, it is still possible that it's just gonna rug everyone, okay? So at least in my personal strategy, anything that is like, you know, below 1 million market cap, or I would even say below 2 million market cap, for me personally, it's just not my cup of tea, okay? But my cup of tea is anything that, let's say, like 5 million, 3, 4 million market cap or higher. And of course, also like, you know, 20 million, 100 million are also fantastic opportunities. But just something that is like in the 6 million, these types of stuff, okay, like this type of stuff is really still capable, like in the best case scenario of 1000x, okay? And in the like decent scenario, but not with the very crazy one, it could be capable of a pretty easy 100x. So this one is 6 million market cap, okay? And we already know that there is a GeoBoden, still a Biden-related meme coin on Solana, okay? That is 100 million, okay? Let's go back over here. That it's 100 million, and in fact, in its top, it was even higher. It was like pretty close to 200 million market cap, okay? So again, just remember that like the main king of the category is on Ethereum, okay? Joe Biden coin, the one that is like 6 million market cap, is also on Ethereum. And basically, when people are gonna search for MAGA Trump, once MAGA Trump is pumping once again, you know, they're gonna search for Biden, especially the new people, not the people that are currently in crypto. You know, they're gonna search for Biden, not Boden, right? and again, like in the psychology of people, like the very direct kind of comparison and the very sort of direct competitor should be on the same blockchain, and it should be on Ethereum. Okay, so this coin is also on Ethereum. It's definitely capable of pumping very hard as well, okay? And I'm gonna show you, like, it's actually pretty soon in the video, I'm gonna show this looks pretty similar to actually what Shiba Inu did in the very early stages of 2021. So that's another exciting thing about this coin. But overall, you know, it already did more than a 200x. It's very capable of pumping. It's very, you know, it's definitely in an uptrend, macro uptrend in the long term. And so far, actually, it's very bullish for me that it had this pivot point over here, and at least at the moment, the lows that it's holding are above these pivot moments. And also, in my opinion, even if it gets back to like this 2 million market cap, I think it's still gonna be like very bullish, but it should be the bottom. Like, it definitely shouldn't drop from 1 million and downwards. So these are the main reasons why, in my opinion, this is a really interesting opportunity, okay? Because we already have a different Joe Biden, just called Boden, on Solana, which is already at 100 million market cap, right? So like, just for this one on Ethereum side, just for this one to just get to the same valuation as the Solana one, even though this is not even the king is MAGA Trump, like, you know, it's already gonna be like a 20x, okay? So this is why 100x from these prices, in my opinion, are gonna be super easy. So all of that being said, let's discuss now Joe Biden, this coin, okay? Let's discuss it more in the short to mid-term, what I'm expecting it to do, and in the long term, why it looks very similar for me to Shiba Inu, and why, again, like in my opinion, it could be capable of even 1000x, okay? So, like I said, most recently, okay, I got interested and got a position, okay, in this coin, like a relatively small position because it's a small coin. I can't really, invest a significant amount, but if it's gonna do 100x, it's gonna be amazing. So, most recently, okay, it had this downtrend here, okay, from March 4th, which is a relatively long time for meme coins, and it was able to break it and hold it as support twice, okay, that's on the 1 hour chart. And obviously since then it's in a new little uptrend, okay? So at least right now it's looking really, really nice that it was able, let me maybe go to 4 hour even daily chart, that it was able to hold lows here at like 0.3 cents, okay? Still kind of higher than these kind of pivotal areas of like 0.2 to 0.3, okay? So this definitely could be a very nice bottom. And again, depending on what Bitcoin will do and what Trump MAGA will do, I think it's gonna be still capable of coming back to these lows. But I just have like another extra yellow line here, okay, like at the 0.4281. The reason I have this yellow line here is because just I was watching this coin actually from here, okay, and I wasn't buying it, but I was still just interested to see what's happening. And just generally in this 0.4 cents region, I just saw there was like really, really nice demand. Just every time you had new wallets that were interested and were buying in this region of 0.4 cents, okay? So it can be another maybe possible next low, kind of instead of the 0.3 low, it could be another 0.4 low. So I mean, at the very short term, it actually even looks like a reverse head and shoulder. So at the moment it looks bullish, but again, depending on what will happen, I think it can sort of reverse again and maybe have just a longer consolidation here. So in the very, very short term, it is bullish. It is possible that like these prices of 0.3 to 0.4 are not gonna be back. But it definitely has to take out first the this high from here at 1 cent, okay? As long as it's below 1 cent, it's not clear to me at all that Biden is gonna start I would say an uptrend like in the very short term, like in the very next few days or weeks. And again, in my opinion, the major really opportunity that I'm talking about, like about 100x or 1000x from just these current prices, like I honestly talk about almost a year from now, or maybe a little less because the elections are in the late 2024. But depending on how the Bitcoin market will be behaving from here and how Trump MAGA will be behaving from here, I'm kind of eyeing this like elections time more or less as maybe possible 100 to 1000x. So of course, other opportunities for other different people, like this is not financial advice, but just generally, like there are other options of just doing DCA, okay, dollar cost average. Like you don't have to. Let's say you want to allocate to it $1,000, right? You don't have to buy all of it in one breakout point, even though that is one strategy that some people are also doing. You can also just dollar cost average, right? You can just like buy it every day, or as long as it's like below 1 cent, or especially as long as it's below like its recent all-time high. You can just dollar cost average and just, build a position of that $1,000, but, just spread it at smaller amounts. But just remember that because this is on the Ethereum blockchain, just remember that the gas prices are pretty high. So at least right now, every single trade that I do, like, is around the $40 for me. So maybe another, like, a little extra tip is that normally, like, Saturdays and Sundays are the slightly better days to buy on the Ethereum blockchain. This is when the gas prices are a little bit lower. And then also another time that I've noticed, at least in the middle of the week, that there's also pretty decent to buy on the Ethereum blockchain. Again, I'm just talking about saving some money on gas, right? Another decent time to buy is I would say like the evening night of North America and the morning of Europe, okay? Around these times, I also kind of sometimes was trying to time my trades over there. Just so I save a little bit more on the Ethereum gas. But again, like if this thing is really gonna be doing like 100 to 1000x, like like $30-40 of Ethereum gas is nothing, right? So this is the short term, okay? Again, just to sum up what I said about the short term here, at the moment we're in this uptrend, but I don't give it that much weight because we only have it for like 3-4 days or something like that. And honestly, I'm gonna be expecting it to be rejected somewhere here, and I think in my most likely likelihood of what I see happening with Biden in the short term is just I'm gonna be expecting it to range, okay, in this region, and I think it's gonna be an accumulation region which has already started. So this is in the short term, and of course just remember that if Trump MAGA is back pumping above $10 and Bitcoin is getting bullish again and maybe getting to like again higher than 73k, maybe like to 75, 76, 77 and so on, then I think Biden and just everything else is gonna be very capable of pumping very quickly, okay? So I don't know, like it just strongly, like we said, depends on Bitcoin and on Trump, okay? MAGA coin. Then Biden can pump. Like, you know, here Bitcoin was pumping like from 50k to 70k, so of course also Biden pumped, you know, more than 100x. So it is possible it's gonna pump heavily like a month or two from now. This is why I already want to build a position now and not wait for too long. But it's possible it's gonna be pumping only like in much more than 1 or 2 months, at least pumping in a significant way. Like I really mean like the 100 or 1000x. Now guys, let me show you, okay, one of the other reasons why I was so excited to just research and learn about this particular Joe Biden coin. And for that, we will need to go to the Shiba Inu liquidity, which is the longest, okay, from more than 3 years ago. And I guess let's do weekly chart, okay, because it's gonna be difficult kind of to find it over there. But here, I just wanted to show you this section over here, and actually let me reverse to market cap, right, so that we understand better what's going on. So like you guys know, at the moment Shiba Inu is one of the largest meme coins out there, and it's worth like 16 billion market cap right now, which is absolutely insane. So, but we have to go back in time, okay, for Shiba Inu we have to go back in time over here to or also the early phases of the last 2021 bull run, arguably to somewhat similar times to where we are right now in for Bitcoin and crypto, okay? So, like you can see, Shiba Inu also kind of had a very kind of first pump in the very beginning of its existence, and then it like you know was correcting you know, like to super low valuations, like, you know, exceptionally low, right? Like even a little less than 100,000, and I think here it was maybe 100 and 200,000, okay? And then it had like a super crazy pump out of nowhere. So let's just reverse back to Biden, okay? Let's reverse to Biden, and let's maybe at least do it on the daily chart. So Biden also kind of came into the existence, and pardon, let me reverse to market cap. So it came to existence, okay, and it reached almost 1 million, still 600k, okay. Arguably this is why also it corrected not as heavily as Shiba Inu did at the time. But anyway, bottom line is that it was between like, you know, the 30k market cap to 200k market cap, okay, for a few months. That is similar to what was happening with Shiba Inu here, okay? It started existing, and then it corrected, and then it was consolidating between like the 5-figure market cap to 200, maybe even 300 market cap, okay? And then it had a major surge out of nowhere, okay? The first initial significant surge. Now, I don't know if that makes sense, guys, right? But like, look, you have so many coins like this, okay? And most of them will stay like this and will just even collapse to zero, okay? So look, like I know it may not make sense to all people in crypto, especially if you have not been here for long enough, but just shortly I'll just explain. Like, once the coin is still at these valuations, first of all, it's impossible to buy a significant amount, right? Like, if you want to buy something that looks exactly the same and at the same valuations now with Ethereum gas like $40 per trade, right? So like, you're gonna buy $100 and you're gonna like move the price quite significantly, and you're gonna pay another fee of 40. And like, if this coin is not just drops a little bit after you bought it, like you're already like in a loss of $40 for the fee, and then like $20-30 from your trade. You know what I mean? So like, at least for me, like, you know, everyone to his own. I'm just sharing like why, in my personal experience, like something that is still like in the 5 to 6 figure, just not worth the risk. Like, most of them will keep collapsing. You know, we just want to find some coins that have shown the potential. Okay, so Shiba Inu in early 2021 shown the potential. Okay, it roared and surged from, you know, 80k to you know, like the 17, like 20, 30 million market cap. Also similarly to Biden, like a 200x or even more in its first initial surge. Okay, so Biden, like we said, looks very similar to that. also you kind of already had that initial surge, initial interest, and a pretty high volume, like here on the peak, like $10 million volume in one day is like a lot for a coin that small. Especially on the Ethereum blockchain with all the gas fees. So this is why, again, I see major potential, and this is why I think Biden could be in similar phases, okay, to Shiba Inu over here. Like, in my personal opinion, even though like logically you're thinking probably it's better to buy it here, in my personal crypto experience, in my personal opinion, the ultimate opportunity for Shiba Inu was actually here. Okay, once it already shown you it's capable of stuff, once it was already at higher valuation, so that the liquidity is decent enough so that, you know, you could buy like thousands of dollars of Shiba over here, like maybe tens of thousands, you again move the price quite a lot, but you know, like investing 1,000 or more was very easy and very doable here. If you would do it here, you will like, maybe this is what happened here. And yeah. So anyway, so from here you can, you know, it's possible to invest 1,000, and in Shiba Inu's case, right? So the market cap here was like $4 million, and now it's 16 billion. Okay, so that's something like a 4,000x. Okay, and I mean the peak for Shiba Inu in the last bull run was even higher. The peak was like 44 billion. Okay, so like the peak was like a 10,000x from the prices over here, right? So does it make sense? So over here you can more confidently, you know, buy something for $1,000 and not move the price much, you know. And if you have a stop loss strategy, you can still implement that. Over here, like maybe you can buy $100, but you know, like your confidence is a lot lower, and obviously, like, you know, you, even if this is your strategy, you have to buy like hundreds or thousands of those, right? So you gotta waste a lot of money on a lot of projects that are gonna be dead eventually. So anyway, if that makes sense, this is a little bit maybe of a side rant over here. Why personally, just I'm not interested in such small market caps, but I am strongly interested in, like I said, like 3, 4, 5 million or higher. And again, in some situations, like I think in Biden's case, this like 4, 5, 6 million market cap can be an opportunity of 100x and maybe even 1,000x. I don't want to say like 4,000x like Shiba, because, you know, like anything is possible in crypto. If we're going to be blessed with that, that's going to be absolutely exceptional. But look, we shouldn't wait for the absolutely exceptional. Like Shiba Inu was basically the main superstar, like the biggest gainer in the whole last bull market. So, you know, like thinking that Biden is gonna be the absolute best, maybe, but you know, we shouldn't count on it, right? Like maybe actually MAGA is gonna be the one, and you know, MAGA is already up like pretty close to 1,000x, okay, from the lows that it had over here. So back to kind of Shiba Inu at these times, okay? So like you can see, Shiba Inu surged like crazy, and then it had to correct. It basically also collapsed like 92%, okay? Around the 90%. And you know, it was correcting over here and consolidating for a month, okay? And only then it finally broke out here. And once it broke out this region at 5 million market cap, you can basically see that it never ever came back again to these valuations, okay? And it just kept going higher and higher, you know, 20 million. And yeah, and this was like major altcoin season here. So over here you see it went from 40 million to 1 billion. Then it had even another run to like around the current valuations of 16 billion. So first of all, you know, with Biden, obviously we're in a slightly different kind of market cycle, momentum possibly. So I mean, maybe it's gonna look even similar in terms of months, like in terms of maybe this being April and this being May, and this being June and July, maybe, but I think it's not very likely. I think it's a lot less likely, the way I see the market cycle. Again, I think it's not going to be identical, but just the main thing that is the most important is I think Biden is in identical times to this. It's just possible that this is going to just extend, you know, and going to continue a little bit more like this for extra months. But again, like maybe it can also be something like that. Like why I already got a position is because I think it can also be maybe like that, right? Like if Bitcoin and Trump pump sometime soon within the next month, then sorry, let's go back to Shiba. Biden can look maybe a little bit more like that, and maybe even establish a new higher low or something like that above this all-time high. and then maybe kind of rest and relax for like a few months before the really major surge, in my opinion, around the end of 2024. So yeah, guys, hope you liked this video and hope you found this valuable. Regardless, remember, we're in, it's fantastic to finally have a bull run, right? Like I started this channel back in, like middle of 2022. I started the channel like around after Terra Luna collapse, if you guys remember, and basically approximately here when Bitcoin was like $20,000, right? So many of my videos, if you'll go back like to the middle of 2022 to the beginning of 2023, like basically this is where I started the channel, okay? And then of course I continued the channel over here. So, it's just fantastic to finally be back to the bull run times and also having a channel in the bull run, which I was waiting for basically for 2 years. So yeah, guys, you're very welcome to subscribe. You're very welcome to leave a like just to help the algorithm and for more people to see about Biden coin. And yeah, guys, I'm also interested, like maybe I didn't find all the coins. So if there are some other politics meme coins that you think they are good, let me know please in the comments below. If you think they are also good, let me think what you think also about the Joe Biden one, the Donald Trump on Solana. And maybe also about these other ones that are also as small as Joe Biden, like maybe Trump Inu and Tucker, and maybe also Milei, the person from Argentina. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for being here once again, and have a fantastic week and a fantastic weekend ahead, and cheers as always.